Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsav Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. The Yemen-based Houthi rebels have taken responsibility for attacks on two more vessels in the Red Sea and in the Gulf of Aden. The Iran-backed group said that it targeted a Greek-flagged oil tanker and a Panama-flagged bulk carrier. A Houthi spokesperson said that both the vessels were targeted for dealing with Israel. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a visit to Ukraine. He is the first Indian Prime Minister to visit the country. He has met with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. The visit follows his two-day trip to Poland. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has said that Ukraine tried to strike Russia's Kursk nuclear power plant in an overnight attack. Moscow said that it informed the UN nuclear safety watchdog about the situation. The acting governor of the Kursk region has said that the situation at the nuclear station is stable. The Russian port of Kavkaz in the Krasnodar region caught fire yesterday after an alleged Ukrainian attack. According to regional officials, the attack sank a ferry loaded with 30 fuel tanks. At least 100 people were engaged in trying to douse the flames. US Vice President Kamala Harris has officially accepted the Democratic Party's presidential nomination. Harris accepted the nomination on the last day of the Democratic National Convention, or DNC, in Chicago. Harris vowed to be a president for all Americans. It has been reported that Khalistani leader Satinder Pal Singh Raju survived a shooting attack in California earlier this month. Raju is a supporter of the Khalistan separatist movement and a member of an organization banned by India called Sikhs for Justice. He was targeted while traveling on a highway near Sacramento on August 11th. His truck was fired upon multiple times, but he escaped unharmed. Raju was an associate of Sikh separatist leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was killed in Vancouver in 2023. Venezuela's Supreme Justice Tribunal has confirmed President Nicolas Maduro's victory in the contentious July 28th presidential election. The controversial election results triggered deadly anti-government protests in Venezuela. It subsequently led to a crackdown on dissent and the arrest of opposition figures. Venezuela's opposition argues that the country's Supreme Court has no constitutional authority to oversee electoral matters. They have deemed the court's ruling invalid. Indonesia has shelved a controversial plan to change election laws. The decision followed massive protests near the Parliament building in Jakarta. Protesters opposed the bid by lawmakers to undo a 30-year age requirement for electoral candidates. The proposed change was seen as an attempt to benefit outgoing President Joko Widodo's 29-year-old son. A plane crash took place in Thailand's Chacheongsaw province. All 9 people on board were killed. The Cessna Caravan C-208B plane was carrying 5 Chinese tourists and 4 Thai people, including 2 pilots. The plane was en route from Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi airport to the Trat province in eastern Thailand. It lost contact with ground control 11 minutes after takeoff. Thai authorities are investigating the cause of the crash. A fire at a hotel in South Korea has killed 7 people and injured 12 others. The fire began on the 8th floor of a hotel building in Bucheon. Some 70 vehicles and 160 firefighters were dispatched to douse the fire. South Korean authorities are probing the exact cause of the incident. A bus accident in Nepal has killed at least 14 people. An India-registered bus plunged into the Marsyangdi River in Nepal's Tanahun district. The bus was carrying around 40 passengers from Pokhara to Kathmandu. A team of 45 people has been deployed to carry out search and rescue operations. In climate news, heavy rain has caused floods and landslides in the northeastern Indian state of Tripura. At least 10 people have died amid the severe weather conditions. The floods have affected over 1 million people in the state. Incessant rainfall has led to the closure of schools and colleges. Heavy rains have battered parts of eastern Bangladesh as well. Relentless monsoon rains have left roads severely flooded in Feni and Brahmanbaria in those districts. The floods have affected nearly 3 million people in the country. Heavy downpours lashed parts of northern Thailand as well, leading to widespread flooding. The flash floods have affected over 12,000 households in 7 provinces. Thailand's Prime Minister has expressed concerns and asked relevant authorities to monitor the situation. Heavy rain battered northeastern China's Liaoning province. The incessant downpours caused electricity and communication outages. Over 50,000 people in Huludao city were evacuated amid the flood-like situation. In Jiancheng County, people from 66 villages have taken refuge at a local railway station. Torrential rains have also hit Japan's capital, Tokyo. The heavy rainfall left roads flooded and led to widespread traffic congestion. Meanwhile, Haneda Airport suspended services for about an hour due to lightning strikes. A tropical storm named Hone is expected to hit Hawaii over the weekend. The storm will bring strong winds and heavy rains to the Big Island and Maui region. According to forecasters, the center of the storm could pass near or south of the Big Island. A wildfire in the Portuguese island of Madeira has been raging for the last 8 days. The forest fire has torched nearly 5,000 hectares of land. The European Union has sent 2 planes from Spain to help the country in the firefighting efforts. Madeira is currently under high alert over the risk of more wildfires. Wildfires have continued to spread across Bolivia's Santa Cruz. Currently, there are 35 active wildfires in the region. Over 2 million hectares of land have been torched across Bolivia. Smoke from the raging wildfires has engulfed the skies of the country's capital, La Paz. The air quality in the city has degraded to 136, which is considered harmful to human health. Hundreds of pink dolphins died due to severe droughts last year in the Amazon. With hopes to avoid more such dolphin deaths, biologists are studying the impact on the health of dolphins in the fresh waters of the Amazon. Some dolphins were brought ashore for blood tests. The researchers inserted microchips to monitor the dolphin's behavior. On to business and tech news. The Canadian government has intervened to end the disruption in the country's freight rail operations. Yesterday, Canada's 2 mail rail operators had locked out nearly 10,000 of their workers. This had threatened to disrupt a large part of the country's economy. The lockout was announced after the rail firms failed to reach a new labour agreement with the workers. Canada's government has now ordered the firms to extend the old contract. U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is set to address the annual Jackson Hole Symposium in Wyoming today. His speech comes ahead of the Federal Reserve's monetary policy meeting in September. Stakeholders will be closely watching Powell's address to get a hint of the September outcome. The U.S. Central Bank is expected to reduce interest rates next month. Swiss consumer goods giant Nestle has named company veteran Laurent Francais as its new CEO. Francais has been working with the firm since 1986. He currently serves as Nestle's executive vice president and the head of the Latin America zone. Francais will be replacing current Nestle CEO Mark Schneider starting next month. Schneider has served as the firm's head for over 8 years. Swiss consumer goods giant Nestle has named company veteran Laurent Francais as its next CEO. Frick has been working with the firm since 1986. He currently serves as Nestle's executive vice president and the head of the Latin America zone. He will be replacing current Nestle CEO Mark Schneider starting next month. Schneider has served as the firm's head for over 8 years. American retailer Walmart has partnered with fast food chain Burger King. They will offer free burgers and other benefits to Walmart Plus members. The move is part of Walmart's efforts to attract price-conscious customers amid high prices. The US Postal Service has announced several changes to its services to cut costs. The proposed changes include the adjustment of pick-up and drop-off times. The US Postal Service also plans to speed up the delivery of some classes of parcels. The US state-owned agency plans to save about $30 billion over the next decade through these changes. The European pharma company AstraZeneca has reportedly warned that it may move its vaccine plant from the UK to the US. This is due to a stalemate with the new UK government over incentives. AstraZeneca had planned to develop a vaccine manufacturing site in Liverpool. The earlier UK Conservative Party government had pledged over $117 million for the project. The new Labour Party government says that it wants to reduce the incentives to about $52 million. American entertainment firm Skydance Media has accused Paramount Global of violating the terms of their merger deal. This comes after Paramount extended the time it could engage with other offers. Skydance Media signed a $6 billion deal to take over Paramount Global last month. However, Paramount was given until August 21st to consider other acquisition offers. Now this deadline has been extended to September 5th. This comes as Paramount Global has received a bid from veteran media executive Edgar Bronfman. General Motors' robotaxi firm Cruise plans to offer its services on Uber starting next year. Cruise has signed a multi-year partnership with the ride-hailing platform. Uber will allow its customers to choose if they want to travel in Cruise's self-driving cars. The platform already offers driverless car rides in partnership with Alphabet's Waymo. It's available only in the US city of Phoenix so far. Tech industry veteran Lip Bhutan has stepped down from Intel's board. His resignation comes as the chipmaker has been facing financial distress. Lip Bhutan earlier served as the CEO of the American software firm Cadence Design Systems. He was brought onto Intel's board in 2022. Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba has announced plans to move the firm's primary stock market listing to Hong Kong. Alibaba's shares are currently listed in both Hong Kong and New York. However, they have been primarily traded in New York since 2014. The firm says that moving the primary listing to Hong Kong would give its stock a much-needed boost. Alibaba's share prices in Hong Kong have plunged by about 75% since their peak in 2020. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. England's cricket board announced the details of their home matches for the next season. The iconic Lord's Stadium will host a women's test match for the first time. The match will be played between India and England in 2026. England will also host Zimbabwe for a one-off test match in 2025. It'll take place at Trent Bridge on May 22nd. After that, the Englishmen will play 5 tests against India. England's women's team face India in 5 T20 internationals, which coincides with the men's series. In football news, Real Madrid's goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois says he will not play for Belgium under the current coach. He wasn't named in the Belgium squad for the Euro 2024 following a row with the team's manager in 2023. Courtois had 2 knee injuries last season and missed most of it, but he returned to fitness and played in the Champions League final. Despite his recovery, Courtois was snubbed from the Euro 2024. Two of India's oldest football clubs, Mohun Bagan and East Bengal, are set to face each other on September 2nd. The match will be held in Lucknow in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. The Kolkata derby was scheduled for August 18th, but it was cancelled due to security reasons in the city. Paulo Dybala confirms that he will continue with the Serie A club AS Roma. The Argentine attacking midfielder made the announcement in an Instagram post. This ends weeks of speculation of him potentially joining Saudi football. Reports say that Dybala has rejected an offer worth $83 million from the Saudi Pro League. Cristiano Ronaldo's potential winning goal for the Saudi club Al Nassr in the Saudi Pro League opener was disallowed by the video assistant referee for being offside. The match against Al Raid ended 1-1 despite Ronaldo initially putting Al Nassr ahead with a header in the first half. Ronaldo scored his 50th goal in 48 Saudi Pro League games with this header. He had set a league record last season with 35 goals, but his first goal of the new season was overshadowed by the VAR decision. In tennis, veteran Ons Jabeur of Tunisia has pulled out of the US Open. It was because of a shoulder injury. Jabeur has been plagued with injuries of late this season. She earlier withdrew from the City Open and also missed the Paris Olympics. The US Open draw signals that top seeds Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz could face each other in the semis. The 2022 US Open quarterfinals emerged as one of the most epic clashes between the two. Spain's Alcaraz had won and became the world #1 back then. Their most recent encounter was at the Paris Masters, where Italy's Sinner emerged victorious. Indian javelin ace Neeraj Chopra clinched a silver in the Lausanne Diamond League. He recorded a sensational throw of 89.49 meters, which is his season best. It was also the second best throw of his career. Chopra was defeated by Grenada's Anderson Peters, who recorded a throw of 90.61 meters. Mercedes racer Lewis Hamilton voiced support for a Formula One Grand Prix in Africa. Africa has not hosted a Grand Prix since 1993 in South Africa. F1 organizers are poised for talks over organizing a Grand Prix in Rwanda. Hamilton says that it would be, quote-unquote, the 100% the right thing to do to bring racing back to Africa. In entertainment news, Indian singer Arijit Singh has become Spotify's most followed artist. He has a following of 118.8 million people on the music streaming app. Arijit Singh has surpassed global star Taylor Swift, who boasts a following of 117 million people. Arijit Singh began his music career in the year 2005. The pregnant rapper Cardi B has responded to skin bleaching rumors. She took to social media and revealed that her skin looks pale because she is anemic. The rapper went on to say that the baby inside her is sucking the energy out of her body. Cardi B announced a few days ago that she is expecting her third child. British rock band Coldplay has released a new single titled We Pray. The song features Little Sims, Burna Boy, Eliana and Tinny. Fans speculate that the song is part of their upcoming album Moon Music. However, the band hasn't commented on this yet. American singer and actor Sabrina Carpenter will release her music video Taste today. She posted a teaser for it a day before, and surprisingly it features Wednesday star Jenna Ortega. This will be the third single from her 6th studio album. Singer Nick Jonas is pretty excited for his Broadway show next year. In an interview, he said that by this year's end, he would be playing with his band, and then on to show off his acting chops on a theatrical stage. He said it's an interesting gig for him and he's looking forward to it more than his music shows. Jonas stars in the musical The Last 5 Years with Adrian Warren. The makers of Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim have released its trailer. The film is set 183 years before the events of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The trailer shows King Helm Hammerhand and his tale of saving his kingdom. The film will release on the 13th of December. Wrestler turned actor John Cena shook the world when he walked naked on the Oscar stage this year. He said in an interview that it was embarrassing to go on stage with just a pillow in front of him. However, he also feels that filming intimate scenes is the worst. Emmy Award-winning actor Matthew Rhys will star in Netflix's upcoming thriller series, The Beast in Me. He will star opposite actor Claire Danes. The story is about a female author who loses her zeal to write after her son's death. But then she discovers the unusual story of her neighbor, which brings back her interest. Actor Anya Taylor-Joy has landed a lead role in Netflix's upcoming series, How to Kill Your Family. The 8-episode show will show the actor in a character driven by revenge. The show is based on a novel by Bella Mackie, which has the same name. The release date is still under wraps. Overlord: The Sacred Kingdom will release on November 8th this year. The new animated film will show the continuation of the anime series Overlord. The story is about a man who plays a video game for 12 years, and when he plays it for the final time, he gets transported into the game. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned to Firstpost.